Hey, warrior goddesses. Good to see you. So glad you're here. So I'm going to give everyone just a couple moments to hop on, and then we'll start reading from Warrior Goddess Training. I can't believe we made it all the way to lesson 10. Choose your path. How exciting. So we're going to start on page 135. Hello, hello. And let's go ahead and just do a really brief grounding. So closing your eyes if that feels good to you and your body. And taking a deep breath into your lungs. Then big exhale. Another big inhale. Exhale. And a few more at your own pace. Lovely. Imagining that a taproot can drop down through the base of your spine and go down deep into the earth. And taking a moment just to honor the native people of the lands you are occupying or living on. Allowing yourself to open to life. Breathing in through your heart, out through your heart. Just really feeling your own self today. Beautiful. And when you're ready, gently opening your eyes and bringing yourself present here. So we're continuing our journey of Warrior Goddess Training, becoming the woman you are meant to be. And we are on lesson 10, Choose Your Path. I am Serena Hartz. I, she, her, and they, them pronouns. If you're just tuning in and haven't heard me read before, I'm one of the Warrior Goddess mentors for our Warrior Goddess Training Circle. And I also am the community magic maker at Warrior Goddess. And so I really help with like programs and stuff like that. But I'm just excited to be here with all of you and to read. So let's learning about our path and choosing, right? So lesson 10, page 135 in the paperback copy. Choose your path. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. Anais Nin. We were about 5 minutes into a workshop I was teaching when a woman raised her hand and said, I don't know if I should be here. I'm an introvert and you are very extroverted, and the energy here feels too big for me. I might have to leave. I told her, I'm actually an introvert too, who does well as an extrovert when I am teaching. You're welcome to leave if that is what you need to do, but I invite you to stay and see what is here for you. I'm not asking you to be different. I'm inviting you to stretch and open to new possibilities. She did stay for the entire workshop, and at the end of the day, she excitedly shared, I had no idea how much my story about being an introvert was limiting me. She was glowing with newfound freedom. Now, does this mean that she will go on to become an extrovert who loves being in big groups? Probably not, unless that is who she really is. I share this story to show that stepping into your warrior goddess power means letting go of who you have been before so you can experience who you are once you are freed from old definitions and perceptions. I used to consider myself an incredibly shy person. One day, I was asked to stand in for someone and talk about something I was really passionate about, a recent journey I'd been on to Nicaragua to bring toys and medicine to children. Even though I was terrified, I found that once I opened my mouth, I loved sharing. It was a revelation. How could I be so shy and have just enjoyed being in front of 200 people? I had to let go of who I thought I was and the familiar role I had taken on as a shy person in order to let the truth. I love teaching in front of groups. I still get shy at times, but now my world is much bigger than my old definition of myself as a shy introvert. Now I see myself as someone who is blessed to be rooted in stillness and overflowing with words and energy. As we approach the end of this book, I invite you to remember that there is no one way to be a warrior goddess. I'm going to read that line one more time. As we approach the end of this book, I invite you to remember that there is no one way to be a warrior goddess. You may be a loud, outgoing, talkative warrior goddess, or you may be a quiet, introverted warrior goddess who prefers to watch a crowd rather than join or lead. Or you may be both. The key is once you are on the warrior goddess path, you realize you have a choice. You are no longer a slave to other people's ideas about how you should live your life, nor are you trapped by your own outdated belief system. You are becoming the woman you want to be, which is synonymous with who you are meant to be. So, the final lesson of this book is about joyfully choosing how to define yourself as you continue along the path. Choosing how you define yourself is not an exercise in limiting yourself, nor is it designed to foster a false sense of importance. Choosing how to define yourself as you go forward on the path is a way to create positive direction and continue inner healing. But remember, there is danger in extremes. Avoid creating a rigid definition of who you should be and then using it to beat yourself up for not being it, or having no direction and wandering without purpose, making choices by default. In the next section, we'll explore the most familiar roles that we use to define and often limit ourselves, and how to consciously choose new myths that expand and inspire us. Did it freeze? It still says I'm live, but now I'm seeing your thing. I am in remote New Mexico, though, so maybe that's why. I don't know how to plug into HeatherAsh's thing. You are freezing or I'm working? This one is working. Oh, okay, great. Then I'll just keep reading then. This is so funny. Okay, so roles. A role is a script written long before we were born. A role defines how you should act, how you should respond, and what you should believe. We often take on a role without realizing it is a role. And then suddenly we find ourselves acting in ways we don't understand or don't like. When we identify with a role, we believe it is who we are, not just a part we are playing. Daughter, mother, student, addict, teacher, boss, girlfriend, volunteer, artist, activist, healer, the happy one, the sad one, single, divorced, the caretaker, the spiritual one, victim, perpetrator, good worker, widow. These are all possible roles we could have adopted over the years. And there are many, many others. What different roles have you held over your lifetime? List as many as you can. Notice how each of these labels feels in your body. Any role we have attachment to needs to be released with love. An integrated warrior goddess does not need to lean on any roles to feel whole, including the role of warrior goddess. In unweaving yourself from roles you have taken on many times, be patient and be honest. Where do you still energetically hold on to outside support and validation? The exercise below will help you start brainstorming the roles you carry both consciously and unconsciously, and see the places where they constrict you. Exercise, identifying your roles. Okay, so this is the part where you can pause and go get a journal or something to write on or write and something to write with. You could type this, but here's an exercise. So, identifying your roles. In this exercise, you're going to define your roles and come up with a plan to change or maintain each one. First, create a few entries that look like this in your journal, leaving space to write. We'll cover what each of these means next. So you're going to write little bullets: role, description, action. And then first, list the roles you currently have. Think about the roles you play at work or school, in your family, in your intimate relationships, with your friends, with your neighbors. Here's one example of role: dutiful daughter. The process of writing this down can help you better understand that the role you are playing is just that, a role. It's not you. Second, write a description of how you play each role. Continuing the example from above, you might say, it started with trying to be who I thought my dad wanted me to be, but I noticed that this role tends to spill over into other relationships, especially my relationships with men. Third, go down your list and consider which roles are still serving you and which aren't. Which ones are you attached to? Those probably need to go. Mark off with a check mark to star the roles which are no longer serving you. Finally, decide what actions you want to take regarding each role. For example, you might say, I want to shift the energy of this role to being loyal to myself and speaking my truth with respect and love to those around me. There is no right or wrong answer. The point of this exercise is to recognize the roles and release any that are no longer serving you. Here are a couple more examples. Role, manager. Description: I was hired to manage a large team of people and look at the best ways to be efficient and responsive to our customers. I'm a good manager and good in the role, but I see that I've also taken responsibility for everyone's problems instead of empowering them to be responsible. Action: I want to lighten up the role of managing through control and start being an inspirer. I'm also going to take the manager hat off when I leave work. Role, mother. Description: mom to two small boys, ages 4 and 7. I feel exhausted and like I don't have a life outside of being a mom. Think I'm trying to be the perfect mom, whatever that is. Action: I'm going to remember I'm a woman first and a mom second. I'll set up someone to watch the kids for a couple of hours so I can spend more time by myself. I'll try to be the best mom I can while giving myself more space. I'll stop defining myself as just a mom when I talk to myself or others. The truth is, you are not any of these identities. They are simply the roles or masks that you have taken on. No matter how much you love or hate the role, or how firm the mask is, the role is not the totality of you. You are the changeless force beneath the mask, the divine presence that makes the mask possible. Knowing this is the wisdom of the warrior goddess. As you go beneath these different identities to the core of you, find the essence that has remained stable through each identity. Can you find the seed of your light beneath the roles? Go back to who you were before any roles, when you were a small child. What did you notice? Remember fully experiencing something without thought or reflection or judgment. These are the moments when there is no role, no narrator of who you should be, no regard for what others think. These are the moments of you being you, fully. In the next section, you'll learn an interesting paradox. One way to release the roles that no longer serve you is by choosing the new myth you want to embody. So, tomorrow we will pick up with the power of the myth, and we might finish, or we'll finish on Monday. But big love to each and every one of you. Have fun with the exercises, and we'll see you very soon. Bye, everyone.